Hello YouTubers, this is 777 Die Hard Forever, coming at you with another highly anticipated and highly recommended model as I continue to play catch up. Today I'll be doing a review on a Gemini Jets Air Canada Airbus A220-300 in their current livery scheme in a 1/200 scale model. I purchased this model from Jet Collectors and their website address is www.jetcollector.com. But first, before I go into details about this particular aircraft model, please allow me to share you some information about the history of Air Canada and how they actually came about. Air Canada is a Canadian-based airline that was founded on April 11, 1937, where it was actually originated from the Canadian federal government's 1936 creation of Trans-Canada Airlines, TCA, and officially commenced operations on September 1st, 1937, with an electric aircraft carrying passengers and mail from Vancouver, British Columbia to Seattle, Washington. Then began operating their first transcontinental routes from Montreal to Vancouver on April 1st, 1939, using 12 Lockheed Model 14 Super Electras and 6 Lockheed Model 18 Lodestars, as the airline operated under its original name until January 1st, 1965, when it was officially renamed to what has become known to the world as Air Canada. Whereas the corporate headquarters of Air Canada is located at the Air Canada Centre, which is a 7-story building that's located along with the carrier's main hub and base of operations on the grounds of the Montreal-Pierre Elliott Trudeau International Airport Complex, which is located approximately 12 miles southwest of downtown Montreal in the Montreal borough of St. Laurent, while the carrier's other hubs are located at Toronto Pearson International Airport, located at Toronto, Ontario, Vancouver International Airport, located in Richmond, British Columbia, Calgary International Airport, located in Calgary, Alberta. Air Canada also has Focus City hubs that's located at Halifax Stanfield International Airport, located in Enfield, Nova Scotia, and Ottawa MacDonald Cartier International Airport, located in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. As of May 2022, or at the time of this video review posting, Air Canada is currently the national flag carrier airline for the country of Canada and Canada's largest operating airline based on fleet size. It's also currently the world's 11th largest passenger airline carrier based on fleet size overall, as Air Canada flies to 222 destinations worldwide in 47 countries on 6 inhabited continents, as Air Canada is currently one of 10 airlines to own this actual distinction of permanently flying to all 6 inhabited continents, along with Air China, British Airways, Delta Airlines, Emirates, Korean Air, Qantas, Qatar Airways, South African Airways, and United Airlines respectively, with an operating fleet of 181 aircraft that includes 28 Airbus A220-300s, including this one you're looking at here. And in addition to the 181 aircraft that currently operates in the Air Canada fleet, the airline also has unfulfilled orders for an additional 61 more aircraft, which includes 17 more Airbus A220-300s, and those aircraft, as we speak, are currently on back order and are awaiting delivery. Also, as of May 2022, or at the time of this video review posting, Air Canada is actually one of 3 North American-based carriers, along with Porter Airlines and Southwest Airlines, along with 59 other carriers in the world of aviation, that currently operates as a certified 4-star airline carrier, according to the international airline review firm Skytrax magazine. So, let's take a look at the front of the box, and what you're looking at is the engraved gold Gemini 200 decal, the airline's corporate Rondell logo, the Air Canada title, the computer-generated picture of the aircraft type, the 1/200 scale die-cast model aircraft, and item number information you see at the front of the box. Alright, now you're looking at the back of the box, and what you're looking at is the engraved gold Gemini 200 decal. And there's some more information right there, along with the information from Air Canada, as well as the social media pages of Gemini Jets you see there as well. You can pause and read all that information if you like. In the meantime, I'm going to keep this moving. Alright. Alright, now you're looking at the top of the box, and what you're looking at there is the engraved gold Gemini 200 decal, the adult collectible model and warranty information, as well as the item number information you see at the top of the box. Alright, now you're looking at the bottom of the box, which is actually a flap, and on that flap you see there is the engraved gold Gemini 200 decal, as well as that button flap there. I'll show you that in a minute, what the purpose of that button is. All right, now you're looking at the left side of the box, and what you're looking at is the Gemini 200 engraved gold decal, the 1/200 scale die-cast model and item number information, the computer-generated picture of the aircraft, as well as the aircraft type you see at the left side of the box. All right, now you're looking at the right side of the box. It's pretty much the same information at the left side of the box I showed you earlier on, okay? All right, once again, you're looking at the front of the box, but this time I got the box laid out on the table. And the sole purpose why I got this box on this laid down on this table is this flap here I mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna flip that over and let you see what's inside of the packaging. This is the packaging you see here, the foam that protects the model and all that good stuff. And then you see that that little deal there, that's the tripod stand for this particular aircraft model. I'm not gonna do a review with that particular tripod stand. I got an alternative model stand for this model, okay? But I'm gonna take this top foam off and let you see this is what you're looking at here. That's the actual aircraft inside the packaging. All right, I'm gonna take that out right now. All right, now you're looking at the alternative model stand that I'm gonna do the model review with. There's no black padding on there, but it's pretty cool. I'll deal with that though. It's better than that tripod stand. I can say that much. If you want this particular model stand, you can go on eBay and get this particular model stand for maybe about $6 to about $10 plus shipping. It's well worth it, okay? All right, with all that information out of the way about the history of Air Canada and how they actually came about, plus all the details here at the front of the box you're looking at, as well as the information at the back of the box, plus the so-called packaging, as well as the alternative stand that I'm going to do the model review with. And since this particular aircraft has no gear replacement doors for this particular aircraft model, with no further ado, everyone, here is the actual aircraft model out of the packaging box. Let's check it out. All right, there it is, everyone. The Gemini jets, Air Canada Airbus A220-300 in their current livery scheme in a 1/200 scale model. All right, allow me to share you some information about this particular aircraft you're looking at here and how it became part of Air Canada's fleet. Air Canada actually became the very first North American carrier, as well as the 6th global operator in the world of aviation after Air Baltic, who's based out of Riga, Lavtiva, Swiss International Airlines based out of Basel, Switzerland, Korean Air based out of Seoul, South Korea, Air Tanzania based out of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and EgyptAir based out of Cairo, Egypt, respectively, that acquired this prestigious state-of-the-art aircraft as Air Canada took delivery of its first of 45 Airbus A220-300s that the Canadian-based airline had originally placed orders for back on February 27, 2016, but the order was eventually reduced down to 33 on November 9, 2020. Then the order was reactivated back up to 45 again sometime in 2021. As Air Canada received their very first Airbus A220-300 Jetliner aircraft, which bears the registration ship number C-GROV, which is this aircraft you're looking at here, at a special delivery ceremony that was held at the Mirabel Airbus Delivery Center facility, which is actually located on the grounds of the Montreal-Mirabel International Airport Complex, which is located in the Montreal off-island suburb section of Mirabel, Quebec, Canada, on December 20th, 2019. Whereas Air Canada's very first Airbus A220-300 Jetliner aircraft was finally unveiled to the general public as well as the media for the very first time on January 15, 2020 at a special aircraft unveiling ceremony that was held at Air Canada's aircraft hangar facility, which is located on the grounds of the Montreal-Pierre Elliott Trudeau International Airport Complex in Montreal, Canada, as Air Canada's first inaugurated flight on this particular aircraft actually took place on the following day of January 16, 2020, when it flew from Montreal, Quebec, Canada to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as Air Canada Flight AC-317, alternating with their Boeing 787-8s and their Boeing 787-9s that are currently utilized on this particular route, as Montreal, Toronto, Edmonton, Halifax, Ottawa, and Vancouver has become the official gateway basis for this particular aircraft type, with the lion's share of their Airbus A220-300s are currently operating mostly out of Air Canada's hub at Montreal-Pierre Elliott Trudeau International Airport. Air Canada has ordered a total of 45 Airbus A220-300s to add to their fleet, and at the time of this video review posting, there are only 28 that are currently operating in service, while the remaining 17 are currently on back order and are awaiting delivery, as this aircraft actually became the aircraft that eventually replaced the airline's entire fleet of Embraer ERJ-190s, which was finally phased out of Air Canada's fleet on May 31st, 2020, as this aircraft is destined to become one of the airline's official flagship jetliners for the Canadian-based carrier for the foreseeable future. Now let's talk about the nice looking livery scheme you see on this aircraft. This is the current livery scheme of Air Canada, in which Air Canada decided to unveil at the airline's rebranding ceremony that was held on February 9, 2017 for its employees and customers across Canada at airports in Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal simultaneously, as the livery scheme coincides with Air Canada's 80th anniversary, as well as the 150th anniversary celebration of Canada's Confederation. This livery scheme is also a reflection of Canada's heritage as well as its culture and its Canadian wildlife. And although this livery somewhat brings back memory of Air Canada's very first livery scheme after it was rebranded from Trans-Canada Airlines in 1965, as the entire exterior look on this aircraft also resembles that of the medium-sized indigenous game bird called the rock ptarmigan. And the first aircraft that actually begun sporting this current livery scheme look was a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner aircraft, which bears the registration ship number C-GHPQ, as this particular aircraft was painted in Air Canada's current livery scheme sometime in November 2019 at the Mirabel Aircraft Paint Shop facility that's located on the grounds of the Montreal-Mirabel International Airport Complex, which is located in Mirabel, Quebec, Canada, as the majority of Air Canada's fleet is currently painted in this particular livery scheme. Air Canada's livery scheme, including the red maple leaf rondelle logo, was actually created and designed by the international consultancy firm of Wing Creative, whose global headquarters is located in Zurich, Switzerland, while the firm's creative center is located in London, England. So, with all that information out of the way about this particular aircraft, how it's becoming a game changer for Air Canada, plus the nice looking livery scheme that fits well on this aircraft. So with no further ado, let's get down to the nitty gritty and allow me to show you all the details on this aircraft model. Shall we? Let's check it out. Alright, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft here on the port/left side. We're going to start at the front here where you see the front nose landing gears, the landing gear struts, the landing gear door featuring the fleet number 101. See the pitot tubes and the static ports, the radome nose cone, the windshield wipers, as well as the cockpit windows. I'm going to give you a better visual view of those details later on in the model review. But we're going to start at the bottom right here where you see that little number as I mentioned earlier, the 101. And the number that's actually displayed on the nose gear door 101, as I showed you earlier, is actually called the fleet number. And as this particular number is also displayed on the upper tail fin of the aircraft as well. I'll show you that later. Okay. Now you come up here, what you're looking at between the cockpit windows and the L1 entrance door is the Star Alliance decal, which is that little decal you see there. And Air Canada joined the Star Alliance along with Lufthansa, SAS Scandinavian Airlines System, Thai Airways International, and United Airlines as one of the 5 founding members on May 14, 1997, which consists of 26 airline members from 5 inhabited continents. And then you come over here on the right side of the L1 entrance door, you see the Air Canada billboard title right there above the windows. And more importantly, you see the airline's logo right there. This is Air Canada's current revised logo, which is actually an updated version logo that was actually used from 1964 to 1992. It's actually called the red maple leaf rondelle logo, in which the red maple leaf is actually inside the symbol of the rondelle, which is actually known as a hockey puck, as this logo can also be visually seen inside the wingtip device. There on the starboard side, inside the wingtip device on the port side. There on the tail fin of the aircraft. There, as well as on the underbelly section of the aircraft. I'm going to show you that right here as well. There you have it. Alright, now you're looking at the center of the aircraft. And what you're looking at is the engines right here, with these little deals right here. But first, before I get into the details about the engine, now you're looking at the landing gears right here, the outer landing bogey gears there, including the landing gear struts, as well as the landing gear doors. Now back to the engine right here, you see the engine cones right there. And these are the Pratt & Whitney PW 1500G series turbofan type engines that are used on this particular Air Canada Airbus A220-300 jetliner aircraft. Now I'm going to turn this aircraft model around. We're going to see at the front of the engine spin. Let's check it out. All right, now you're looking at the front of the engines here on the port/left side of the aircraft. And unfortunately, these fan blades on here do not spin, which is really, that's the downside part of this particular aircraft model. But other than that, it's all good. But at least you got a front view of the outer landing bogey gears on here, which includes the landing gear struts as well as the actual landing gear doors. All right, now you're looking at the front of the engines here on the starboard/right side of the aircraft. And unfortunately, the engines don't spin over here as well. Okay, unfortunately, it is what it is though. But you got the front view of the landing bogey gears here, including the landing gear struts as well as the front nose landing gears. Sorry. All right, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft. We got a view of the pilot escape hatch door. You got a better visual view of the cockpit windows, the windshield wipers, the radome nose cone, the front nose landing gear doors, the landing gear lights, the landing gear struts, as well as the front view of the front nose landing gears. All right, now you're looking at that black winglet wingtip device on the side of the aircraft, featuring the red navigation light you see displayed there as well. All right, we're at the back of the aircraft here, and right underneath the windows, you see the Airbus A220-300 decal, which is this little decal you're looking at here. As of May 2022, or at the time of this video review posting, Air Canada is currently one of 4 North American carriers, along with JetBlue, Delta, and Breeze Airways, as well as one of 15 global operators that currently operate this brand new state-of-the-art, fuel-efficient aircraft, the Airbus A220-300 variant in their fleet, as Air Canada is currently the 4th largest operator of the Airbus A220-300 variant after Delta Airlines, Air Baltic, and Swiss International Airlines respectively. Alright, we're still at the back of the aircraft here on the port side, and right above the windows is the Canadian flag decal, which is this decal you're looking at here. And this flag decal actually represents the country where Air Canada currently operates from as the national flag carrier airline for the country of Canada. And then right next to that Canadian flag decal is the registration ship number, C-GROV, which is this registration ship number you're looking at here. Registration ship number C-GROV. This particular aircraft is actually Air Canada's very first of 45 Airbus A220-300s that actually entered the carrier's fleet. And the first test flight on this aircraft took place on December 11, 2019 and was delivered to Air Canada on December 20, 2019. Alright, now you're looking at the back of the aircraft, which you is the black tail fin of the aircraft, feature the fleet numbers I mentioned earlier right there. And then there's the Airlines corporate red maple leaf rondelle logo displayed on this black tail fin. And then there's the APU exhaust hole right here. Then there's the strobe lights right there, as well as the entire aircraft from the rear view angle. Let's check it out. There it is, the Air Canada Airbus A220-300 jetliner aircraft from the rear view angle. All right, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft here on the starboard side. We're gonna start at the front there. As you see, the front nose landing gear here, the landing gear struts, the landing gear door featuring the fleet number, the Peter 2 static ports, the radome nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit window, the Star Alliance decal, the Air Canada titles, the Airlines corporate red maple leaf rondelle logo, the front boat bin door, these Pratt & Whitney PW1500G series turbofan type engines right here, engine cones right there, as well as the side visual view of the outer landing bogey gear you see there, including the landing gear struts as well as the landing gear doors. Alright, now you're looking at the black painted wingtip device on this side of the aircraft, featuring the green navigation light you see displayed there next to this black painted wingtip device. Alright, now you're looking at the back of the aircraft here on the starboard side. What you're looking at is the rear boat bin door right here, the aircraft type, Airbus A220-300 decal, the Canadian flag decal, the registration ship number, the airline's corporate maple red leaf rondelle logo you see there, as well as the fleet number you see painted on this black tail fin of the aircraft. Alright, before I show you this aircraft model from the aerial bird's eye view, as well as the undercarriage belly view in full detail from its entirety, please allow me to let you check out one feature, which is the rolling gears. I'm going to show you right now. It rolls pretty good. The model does tilt, but unfortunately on this particular aircraft model, the front nose landing gears does not swivel. That's another downside of this particular aircraft model. But other than that, it's all good. So with that said, let's check out this aircraft from the aerial bird's eye view. Let's check it out. Alright, now you're looking at this aircraft model from the aerial bird's eye view. We're going to start at the front, where you see the radome nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows, the power escape hatch door, and then we come up here, see the high frequency antenna, the Air Canada tiles on both sides. Then you see the anti-collision beacon light, another high frequency antenna, the satellite communications antenna, another high frequency antenna, the Canadian flag decal and the registration ship number on both sides, then the vertical stabilizer on the tail fin, as well as the horizontal stabilizers featuring the warning information there and there as well. No illuminator lights, okay? But now let's check out the engines and the wings here. See the engines there. See the top of the wings, got wing walkway plus the warning information, as well as the flaps, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you. More warning information, as well as the winglet wingtip device. It features the airline's logo displayed there. Now let's check out the engines and the wings over here. See the engines there, the top of the wings, the wing walkway, as well as the warning information, as well as the flaps, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you. More warning information, as well as the black painted winglet wingtip device that features the airline's logo displayed on this side of the aircraft as well. Alright, now you're looking at the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model, where it's partial white, mostly black. We're going to start at the front there as well, the radome nose cone, which is white, and everything else is black from this point on, where you see the crew escape hatch door, the front nose landing gear door, as well as the front nose landing gear. And then we slide up this way, the airline's corporate logo, the anti-collision beacon light, the hole where the model stand goes in at, the Gemini Jets logo. I don't know what that is back there, but there's the APU housing doors right there, and the horizontal stabilizers underneath. Let's check out the gears. Unfortunately, the gears did not tilt, whatever. And then there's the engines right there, as well as the wings underneath. Includes the flaps, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you, as well as the winglet wingtip device you see displayed there. Now let's check out over here the engines. There. And then there's the gears right there, as well as the wings underneath. Includes the flaps, slats, ailerons, spoilers, what have you, as well as the black painted wingtip device on this side of the aircraft as well. Alright, since I show you this aircraft model from the aerial bird's eye view, as well as the undercarriage belly view in its entirety in full detail, now I'm going to put it on that nice little alternative model stand you see there. So with no further ado, everyone, here is the aircraft on the alternative model stand. Let's check it out. Alright, finally got this model on stand, no problem, no hesitation. As you see it being displayed in the takeoff landing position with the model displayed on the alternative model stand you see there. Now I'm going to let you check this model as it rotates in a clockwise rotation, starting with the port side you're looking at now. Now you're looking at the tail cam angle of the aircraft. Now you're looking at the starboard side of the aircraft. Now you're starting to look at the front side of the aircraft, the front view of it, and back to the port side of the aircraft. And since this particular aircraft model has no gear replacement doors, I'm gonna go ahead and take this model off the stand and go ahead and wrap up this model review. All right. All right, the seating configuration. The Air Canada Airbus A220-300 Jetliner aircraft seats 137 passengers in a two-class configured cabin layout. Here's the breakdown, everyone, from rows 1 to 3, which will be from here to about right here. You have 12 business class seats in rows 12 to 36, which will be from here all the way back to the rear of the aircraft. You have an additional 125 economy class seats, which brings the total to 137 seats. And finally, and in addition to Calgary, Alberta, as the official inaugurated flight destination for this particular aircraft, Air Canada currently employs this aircraft or have previously utilized this aircraft, the Airbus A220-300 Jetliner aircraft, on routes from Montreal to destinations such as Cancun, Mexico, Denver, Colorado, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico, Nassau, Bahamas, New York, LaGuardia, Ottawa, Canada, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, Quebec City, Canada, Seattle, Washington, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and Winnipeg, Canada. And from Toronto, Pearson to Calgary, Alberta, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Ottawa, Canada, San Francisco, California, San Jose, California, and Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And from Halifax, Nova Scotia to Cancun, Mexico. Well, those are the routes. Well, everyone, this will conclude this model review. I'd like to know if you got this model or you plan on getting it. This model is almost impossible to find as we speak. I know the other one, the retro, I have the retro one. I'll be doing that at a later date. But if you can snatch this model up, please do so. Highly recommend it. So with that said, please take care. God bless. Stay tuned. There's more model content coming. And above all, everyone, please stay safe out here. Peace.